What's up, guys? Wise out here, coming to talk to you today about passive income. Okay, I think it's important to talk about this because there are a ton of misconceptions about passive income. So I think it's so important just to clarify and to kind of debunk some of the myths and misunderstandings about passive income. Okay, so number one, what is passive income? Okay, passive income is income that you have to do little to no work for. Okay, now here's where I mean about the misconceptions. People think that they assume that let's take real estate for example. They assume that owning rental property is passive income. Not necessarily. I would say on average, and now it can become passive. Now how it can become passive is by you actually hiring a property manager. But if you don't have a property manager to manage your rental properties, it is not passive because you're having to put your time into debt servicing, meaning that you have to pay the bank the mortgage payment, and then you have to collect that money from the tenant, and then you have to fix things. So whenever a toilet breaks, whenever there's a leak somewhere, you have to either get on the phone, or if you're a handyman yourself, go out to the property and actually do the work. So that is one of the biggest misconceptions in the whole passive income space, is people thinking that owning rental property is passive income. It's not. Okay, a good example of passive income would be some sort of I would say like an affiliate offer or something like that, where you just kind of post a link and you send traffic and that's it. Then you don't do anything. The money just keeps rolling in. That's a true definition of passive income. Okay, so there's passive and there's residual. Well, what's residual? Residual income is kind of like, let's say for example, you have one person that purchases a subscription, right? So meaning that it's reoccurring. So every month they're getting billed. So you're getting that money over and over and over and over and over again in perpetuity in most cases, or depending upon if it's a subscription based model, how long that customer is signed up under your service. Okay, so looking at my notes here again, where does it come from? So I kind of touched on that. Rental property is one area. I wouldn't say that it's 100% passive. I'd honestly say it's about 80% passive, but it does have that option to become passive. And in fact, the larger you grow your real estate portfolio, the more passive it becomes. So it does become passive. I'm not saying that it's not passive. I'm just saying that it's not 100% passive. I don't want you to think that you can do it, buy a rental property, you rent it out and that's it, because that's just like the very beginning. There's so much work involved, it's not even funny. So I actually would suggest is to hire a property manager. Yeah, they take a fee. I think it's like 10% or whatever the rent is. I think it's well worth it. I think it's well worth it. They earn their money. You have to find a good property manager. I know a ton of them that are great. They oh my God, they answer the phone at like 2 o'clock in the morning. They're like great, or they have a system for that. Okay, so that's that. Another place where you can get passive income is through like paper assets, for instance. So let's say you go buy a preferred stock and then you're getting paid dividends on that stock. That's another form of passive income. Okay. And then again, leverage business. So that would be any sort of business where really, that's what, if you follow Robert Kiyosaki, that's like one of his definitions as a true business owner, is to be 100% leverage. You're not really considered a business until you're like 100% leverage, meaning that if you die tomorrow, the business is still going to run. There's like a billion different examples like that. Warren Buffett, okay, he's a great example. If you look at Berkshire Hathaway and how he structured that, dude, if Warren Buffett dies tomorrow, Berkshire Hathaway, you better believe, will still keep running. Steve Jobs, a great example. He already died. Look at Apple. Did they just not release the iPhone 10, right? So, or the iPhone X, and so they're always still releasing products. So meaning that the company is still going on, whether they're in the business or not. That is a true passive source of income. Okay, so so the next thing I want to talk about, how much you can have. I mean, obviously that's a no-brainer. Okay, you can have an unlimited. There's no limit. Nobody in the government comes down and says, they show up at your door and they say, hey, you can only have this much passive income. That's it. We can't give you any more, right? So it's basically unlimited. The sky is your limit. You can have as much passive income as you want, and in fact, that's the goal. If you kind of follow Robert Kiyosaki you know, in his whole cash flow game, that's like the whole goal of winning that game and getting out of the rat race, is creating enough passive income that exceeds your expenses. And that ultimately will determine your financial freedom. Trust me, I'll be doing a ton of other videos on that in the future, but just kind of wanted to scratch the surface to give you an idea as to what that is, okay? And yeah, so my next thing I was gonna say was how much should you have, right? And that's kind of what I was hinting at there. You wanna make sure, the goal ultimately is to have your passive income exceed your expenses, because what that's gonna allow you to do, okay, is it's going to give you more free time to do the things that you want to do, whether it be hang out with your kids, whether it be take vacations, whether it be to sit around and drink beer all day. No, I'm just kidding. But like, whatever you want to do in a nutshell, that's what passive income is going to allow you to do without having to be out on the street because you don't have any money, or, you know, simply not having any money. So passive income is extremely important for creating a life of freedom. And a lot of people say, oh, just because you're an entrepreneur now you're free. Not even close to true. I know so many people who are entrepreneurs who, in fact, they go into more debt being an entrepreneur than they would have not being an entrepreneur. So don't let that, you know, confuse you. Just because you're an entrepreneur does not mean, you know, that you're totally free. My definition of free, of financial freedom at least, is making sure that your passive income is like either exactly what your expenses are, or 10 to 20% over or more. That's the goal, is to always do more, double, whatever you want to do. But just make sure the first goal that you set is to at least cover your expenses, or at least, really the first goal that you want to set is to at least get 25% of your expenses covered through passive income, and then do it 3 more times. So 25, 25, 25, 25. So if you just do it in increments of 25%, right, it will ultimately lead you to being financially free. So that's why it's extremely important to be concerned about passive income. Okay, now lastly, I think you might want to know this. Where's the easiest place to get started? Okay, now I'll probably obviously put some stuff in the description. You know, there's always links and stuff you guys can check out. You know, in these things that I talk about in these videos, there's always going to be links and stuff, you know, for you guys to go and kind of check out exactly what I'm talking about, from the books to where to get started in anything. Now, from just what I'm seeing, one of the easiest places to get started, okay, in passive income is online. And that's exactly why I'm doing, I'd say about now, well, at least in the time that I've created for myself, I'm focusing 100% on online, on my online business and generating money online, because it's like infinite. There's no limit. You can create however much you want. Okay, so honestly, I think that if you don't have any money, now this is before I start talking about the curriculum that I'm going to create, where you can literally start from like almost nothing and build it up to an income and just triple, quadruple your money in like a decent amount of time. It's going to take time, and that's really going to be an important component in terms of investing, is time. So, you know, you study Warren Buffett and you just look at how he got his wealth, it was through time, essentially. So it's really important to factor that in, okay? And one of the easiest places now, I think, is affiliate marketing. I think that's the easiest place to get started if you don't really know too much about making money online. I mean, it's so easy. Every major company that you think of has some sort of affiliate program where you get a link, you send people, whether it be, you know, a Facebook group or, you know, doing videos on YouTube, you send them to that link and then they sign up and then you get paid, right? So it's pretty much as simple as that. So that's it for this one on passive income, kind of the 101, just kind of giving you guys a surface view of like what exactly it is. And then of course you can expect more in the future. All right, so that's it for this one, you guys. Make sure you hit that like button if you feel like you got some value from this, and be sure you're subscribed, and we'll see you guys on the next one. All right, much peace, much love.